Peace again, family. This is a part 2. So if you didn't get a chance to see the new moon reading that I did, energy overview, I spoke for about 6 minutes in the beginning, just kind of talking about the general energy with this Labor Day new moon in Virgo. And my intention was to do an ancestral, angelic energy reading. And the ancestors came through so strong, so heavy in regards to those cards and the amount of cards that got pulled for the messages, that I didn't want the reading to be too long, so I decided to separate them and focus on the ancestral read for that first one. And now I am going to do a angelic and aligning with the angels and ascended masters in that light love energy, for the same purpose in regards to getting guidance on this new moon in Virgo and the messages. So definitely watch that video first, because there are cards that are already up from that initial reading. I've got the other ones in regards to the ancestral cards here, so that I can align, what's coming through in regards to the cards that are pulled from the angelic realm. So the foundation of the reading included these 3 cards from Moonology, which was believe in the impossible, expect powerful change, and nothing will come of this situation. And that was just, again, aligning us with our purpose, our passions, our potential, and thinking about how we want to focus our day-to-day. The paradox of this new moon, on Labor Day, is taking this day off from our day job to plan our purpose and to really think about how we want to labor our day-to-day so that it doesn't feel laborious. And a lot of that energy came through in regards to the tarot, in regards to our Lenormand, and then again the ancestral cards. So without further ado, I'm just going to go right into drawing the cards from the angelic decks, the angel decks, because I assume that if you are back, you stopped and went to watch the first video, or you had already seen the first video, got a heads up, and now you are here for part 2 as we align with the angels. Good time to pause and go see the first video, if not. But if you are ready for part 2 as we align with the angels, then here we go. Give thanks. Let's see what our angels have to say. Angels energy, ascended masters. It's definitely a crossover in regards to angels, ancestors, ascended masters. So that is definitely why I try to combine the energies and the reading. But again, it was such a heavy read in terms of what came through, the amount of cards, stacks that came through at a time, like just, wanted us to get those cards together in particular. So they stayed together in the deck, in the shuffle, and flipped out. So I had to go with it. All right. I'm going to go with those 2. So we've got Mercury, open communication. And this is interesting as well, because we do have Mercury that's about to go into retrograde. So it is an opportune time to get certain things off our chest before that happens. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So yeah, I basically just said that. So it is definitely a time to express what you need to express, especially before the retrograde happens. Trying to remember the dates offhand. I'm not remembering them, but they're coming up this month. So definitely, it's about 6 weeks, I believe. 3 weeks or 6 weeks. Again, forgive me for not having the dates. I didn't expect Mercury to come up like that. But Mercury is definitely telling us to open our communication, which is important right now, especially with all of this flux and all of this change happening. In the alignment with the first part, a lot of this is about us following our dreams, following our purpose and our potential, and figuring out what it is that we really want to do with our time and how we want to leave that legacy, whether it's financial, whether it's health related, whether it's our actual art that we want to leave behind. We want to communicate to the people in our lives, involved in some way, who may be invested in us on a personal level, on a professional level, on a platonic level, what our intentions are. going forward with our lives, and communicate that as clearly as possible. And getting that weight off our chest, is powerful in that sense too, because we're holding back a lot right now, especially if we're choosing things that we feel obligated, or choosing people that we feel obligated to. Speak up with love and be heard. That's definitely coming through as well with the Page of Cups, because it is an offering of love. It is an offering of something very heart-centered. The cups is about our emotions, and the fish in the cup is, again, about a gift of prosperity, of abundance, of something that we're offering someone, that new love, new energy, kind of, again, not necessarily naive, but kind of throwing caution to the wind. So Mercury is definitely giving us support right now to throw that caution to the wind, to get that off of our chest, and being able to express what it is, instead of just kind of doing something and just on a whim quit the job, just whatever, and then the person that is involved in some way and that can be affected in some way, we can end up causing more of a detriment. It's really important to communicate our feelings and our plans and our intentions with the people that are on this journey with us before we kind of just do whatever. So it is important. Again, that's where strategizing our scripts come into play, where planning our purpose comes into play, because when we create these to-do lists, when we get things in, again, using this new moon in Virgo energy to really hunker down and have a very disciplined plan, makes it easier, because we're going to look at it all before we just actually run out and do it, and we're going to be able to pay attention to who is involved and who needs to get a heads up before we just kind of run amok and do something. So now we've got Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So this angel, ancestor, ascended master is coming through to let us know that higher learning is happening, but there's more to learn. As always, we are in an expanding universe. So as above, so below, we too need to expand. There needs to be a constant journey in regards to that. And that is part of the powerful change that we feel coming through. The change is going to be in terms of the world, but the change is also going to be within us. That expansion that's happening, that new perception, that new concept of thinking and of doing is what is happening within as well as without, and in terms of the world and exterior. So think about what it is that you feel that you need to do to learn from your experiences, and inner study. Inner study is coming in as well with the Hermit energy, with retreat and recharge. This is very Four of Swords energy that's coming through as well, and the very direct Hermit in the tarot in regards to taking that time. New moon energy is time to reflect and to kind of go inward, in terms of the intuition of the moon, and think about those seeds that we're planting, taking that quiet time to plant those seeds and water those seeds. And we're going to know exactly what the plant needs, what those seeds need, when we take that time, when we focus on inward, and when we focus on the inner learning that needs to happen. So that's that. And now let's connect with angels here and see what angels we have coming through. Oh, of course. Archangel Michael, y'all, stand in your power, be true to yourself. And I'm being called to pull another, but we got Archangel Michael. And I did a reading today and got Archangel Michael and Archangel Jermiel. So we've got, wow. Archangel Michael tells us to stand in our power and be true to ourselves. So we are definitely aligning with the same energy of being heart-centered, focusing on what makes you feel like it is your passion, it is your purpose, this is what you were meant to do, the legacy that you want to leave behind. I really don't want to repeat myself because I'm going to sound like a broken record. Y'all with me, you know what it is. You can't make this stuff up. It's all very, very clearly there, and such an incredible confirmation. And Archangel Michael is our first line of defense in regards to protection, in regards to deciding how we want to move forward. We align with Archangel Michael and we kind of ask, is this the right thing for me? Okay, and now how do I proceed with this? You know what I'm saying? So when you connect with Archangel Michael, he does bring that protection. It is also an energetic protection, not just a physical protection, to make sure that you are standing in your power, that you are being aligned with what it is that you are meant to do and who you are meant to be. And then aligning right after that, Archangel Jeremiel, learn from your challenges, relax and trust. So total alignment with these energies in regards to the learning aspect of things and the internal, that hermit energy of taking that time to retreat and to reflect and to recharge. Also the druid in regards to holding space, of knowing this is my circle, this is my energy, this is what I want to be, this is where I want to stand. This is my safe zone in that sense. This is where I feel good. And standing your ground, like Archangel Michael, stand in your power and being true to yourself. And now we have these energies literally telling us to relax and to trust and to learn from our challenges, learn from our experiences. That is a perfectly aligned message, to learn from the challenges and the experiences that we have. And as a result, it's going to help us be able to stand in our power, to be true to ourselves, and to be able to relax and trust. Right? I brought in that trust mirror in that pyramid to say, like, we literally do have to trust the process of this and know that we are going to be led to where it is we need to be, and that we don't have to be worried about the darkness, because nothing is going to come of that situation. What is going to come of the situation? The impossible. Whatever it is that we think, oh my gosh, that's not, eliminate the doubt to believe that it's possible and expect. I love the expect. Powerful change, not hope for, believe in, expect it. Have that entitlement because of the alignment in being true to yourself and learning from your experiences, and that as above, so below energy, that it is inevitable. So expect it to happen. Period. Awesome. Awesome. Give thanks. See angel messages. For this new moon in Virgo, give thanks, angels, ancestors, for your messages, for this alignment, for these confirmations. What else would you have us know for this new moon in Virgo? All right. Let's go with these. Honor your beauty, Archangel Jophiel. Thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner and outer beauty. Look at how beautiful this angel is. Look at this gorgeous card. And it's really something when we think about what it is that we consider beauty. And the fact that this is specifying inner and outer beauty. That is really, really important. I mentioned in the first recording, the first video, in the beginning, that a good exercise to do during this time is mirror work, and to stand in front of the mirror and promise yourself, talk to yourself, speak to your higher self, make your plans, again, part of this strategizing your scripts and all of that, and create an accountability, because by facing yourself, you're also doing some shadow work. You're aligning with your ego and your higher self and creating that alignment between all of those different facets of yourself. And every time you look in the mirror after that, you can remember that moment and remember the promises that you made to yourself. And it's an opportunity as well to look at yourself in the mirror and see your inner and outer beauty. I would say even stand naked in front of the mirror and admire your beauty, your inner and outer beauty. And when you start to honor yourself, just like Archangel Jophiel is saying to you, honor your beauty, it's going to make it easier for you to believe in the impossible. It's going to make it easier for you to expect powerful change, that entitlement in that sense, because of what you're aligning with, and that you're claiming what you deserve. You're claiming your inner and outer beauty, and that alignment with the inner and outer beauty of others and of source and of your soul, and all of these angels and ancestors that are so rooting for you, and see your inner and outer beauty, and that it's sometimes the blockage is just that you're not taking the time to see it for yourself and in yourself. it makes a huge difference when you do see that beauty in yourself, and as a result feel like, I deserve this, I deserve what's coming. Healthy choices. Thank you, angels, for guiding me to make healthy decisions. This is all a part of it as well, in regards to honoring your beauty and taking that time, looking in the mirror, checking out your body. It's also a healthy thing to do, because when you stand naked in front of a mirror, even, dare I say, like, touch yourself, like, know your body, because when there's a little change, you'll be able to catch it like this. So it's a practical thing as well as a spiritual thing for you to be able to do something like that on a regular, to honor your beauty, take the time, connect with yourself, but know yourself, know your body, know when there's changes that happen so that you can nip something in the butt before it happens. This is aligning as well with our 10 of Pentacles, health and wealth, right? We're talking about legacy building, leaving something behind, new earth energy, changing the status quo, thinking about even immune boosting, all of the stuff that I had mentioned in regards to the Pentacles representing health as well as wealth is definitely aligning with this healthy choices. Angelic message coming through. We have to also really tune our body into being a temple, into being a vessel for those downloads to come through, for that channeling to come through. I'm an advocate, obviously, on vegan, gluten-free, yada, 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 but it's not for everyone. But there is moderation. And I don't think that oftentimes we try hard enough because we're used to something. We do have to think about the challenges, learning from our challenges. There's so much to learn from a challenge, but if we stick to a status quo, if we're eating the same stuff because we're used to eating the same stuff, if we're doing the same stuff because we're used to doing the same stuff, then where's the challenge, right? It's not supposed to always be easy. Higher learning is higher learning for a reason. Not everybody's cut out for it. This is a time, again, Virgo new moon, it's about discipline. It's about getting a little bit more structured, being a little bit more in routine, finding a different rhythm, being a little bit more meticulous. So it does affect and relate to our health and to our choices and to our diets and all of those things as well. It's also how we honor our beauty. Because if we realize that certain things that we eat make us feel a certain way, make our body react a certain way, make our body look a certain way, then we have to start to be a little bit more responsible and a little bit more attuned and in tune in regards to repeating those choices and repeating those patterns. And as a result, learning again from our challenges, learning from our experiences, and doing different, putting ourselves in a different reality. And then as a result, we may be able to honor our bodies a little bit better, and our beauty a little bit better, because we're going to feel healthier. We're going to feel more solid and secure in our bodies and in our beauty. And again, it's an internal and an external thing, because it's not just about how we're going to look, it's how we're going to feel. For me, my choice to be vegan happened because of how I felt. I happened to benefit on the back end for the choice, but the choice happened naturally because I was starting to be a lot more aligned with how my body felt after I ate certain things versus how my body felt with other things. And I ended up just naturally weeding out what just didn't make me feel good. So it's also about, Virgo new moon is about keeping logs, keeping schedule, getting a little bit more organized. So maybe it's about creating, a diet journal. And, logging, I ate this today and this is how I felt afterwards. I ate this today and this is how I felt afterwards. And checking it out and seeing if those things repeat, if you happen to always feel that particular way when you eat that particular thing. And it's only in getting more organized and more disciplined in that's going to be able to, have us not also ignore the things that may be happening that we're not paying attention to. The more organized that we are, the easier it is for us to be like, okay, can't deny it. I remember, I wrote that down. Yeah, that happened. That's real. You know what I mean? So think about it. Definitely what's coming through. And finally, just connecting. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. right, I'm just going to take that one. Look at this card, how gorgeous. Blessings and abundance, y'all. Blessings and abundance. So listen, it's all right there. Blessings and abundance, that's the energy that's all over this as well. Blessings and abundance is not just financial, it's not just health, it's not just love, it's everything. You want blessings and abundance in every area of your life. This is, for me, a perfect opposite and confirmation in regards to this. Nothing will come of this situation in regards to the things that we're worried about, in regards to dark agendas, things that are happening in the world that makes us feel like, oh my God, this is horrible, everything's just going to hell. No, it's not. Like, no, it's not. Just no, it's not. Nothing is going to come of that situation. It's the impossible that's about to happen. It's the powerful change that's about to happen. And it starts with you. Sometimes we're too caught up in all of the logistics and stuff that's happening in the world that it makes us not be motivated. And then we figure, like, what's the point? Everybody's just going to turn to zombies anyway. Like we can't do that. That's not what we're supposed to be doing with this energy. With any energy, what we're supposed to be doing with this energy is focusing on how we can maximize our blessings and our abundance and sharing our blessings and our abundance. We want to align so that we can flip the script and we can be the one in that power position to be sharing blessings and abundance, to be more generous with what it is that we have, especially if we feel like the people that have aren't doing what they should be doing. We need to do everything in our power to align with our passions and our purpose, leave that legacy financially, spiritually, tangibly, intangibly, in all of the ways that we can. So the more that we acquire, the more that we learn, again, higher learning from our challenges and our experiences is also what we leave behind, is also part of our blessings and our abundance. The more information, the more that we can share, the more that we can give. So that is like a beautiful card to end on in regards to that energy, because it's powerful. It's powerful to think about. Look at this card. I mean, my gosh, it's so beautiful. Yes, Black Angel. Yes. Beautiful. So let's just focus on the blessings and the abundance coming our way. Let's, stay. We look in the mirror and we definitely have to face our shadow selves. We definitely have to look at our ego selves and do that work and, find a balance between the dark and the light to make sure that we don't stay in the dark, and to make sure that even when there is dark, that we are able to focus on the fact that the light can't be totally blocked out, that the powerful change is what it is. And no matter what, there is going to be that beautiful halo, that angelic halo of light to focus on despite the dark, that despite the death, despite any destruction, despite that darkest before the dawn will come, the sun will rise again. That is the focus, that is the energy. I'm just gonna pull some charms to conclude our reading. Give thanks. Yes, yes, yes. Grounded growth. It's aligning with our earth energy, our tree energy, talking about grounding and rooting, getting your feet in the soil, being under a tree. We had it all there, right? So naturally, it is a huge focus. I get this charm so often when I pull, because of how important, how imperative it is for us to ground, for us to elevate. That paradox is so powerful. That if we have to think about harvest time, if we have to focus on the root before we can think about the fruit. So this is what this energy is about. Get grounded, get our feet solid and planted into the firm earth in order for, again, this is also about planting seeds, right? New moon energy. The seeds are sown and the roots have to grow before you see one lick of green that comes out from that earth. So definitely align with that grounded energy. And then we've got our angels all up in the space, and this is angelic reading, and they're saying, we're here. And that's awesome. The double wing is feeling of being enveloped, completely covered and protected, sheltered by these angels, by this angel energy. So it is really, really amazing to get the angels. And in the reading that I did earlier as well, I got grounded growth as well as these angel wings. So it is very, very clear that they are here. This is also a very as above, so below energy, as above, so below energy in regards to the angels letting us know, ground so that you can fly. That's the plan of action. That's the strategy to the script. And they're giving us a very, very clear to-do list. And then we've got infinite love. We've got the number 8 infinity symbol with the love charm. That is telling us that you focus on love, you focus on the heart-centered of things. Again, that's what we're doing. That's our Page of Cups, that offering of love, putting our love into our work, working with our hands and our heart, focusing on what makes us feel passionate, what we feel is our purpose, what again doesn't feel like it's laborious for us to do this work that we have so much love for, and so much love to be able to give and offer somebody else. That is where we're going to leave that legacy. And that is where we're going to connect with being recognized for what it is that we do. And to be recognized for infinite love and for sharing something with somebody that makes their heart so full because they believe it's from my heart to yours is everything. It's absolutely everything. So that is very, very powerful. I'm very grateful for this energy and this part 2. I'm glad that I decided to do it and to get this information, this added information from the first ancestral reading. So happy new moon in Virgo. Happy Labor Day. I hope that resonated for you. I hope that it's provided a little bit more clarity in regards to how to work with this energy and just how to align. It really is a time for us to think about what we want to do. And ironically, if we feel in some ways like this is the end of the world as we know it, then how do you want to spend the last bit? And then if the way that you happen to spend the last bit and you choose to stay high vibration could be the thing that actually doesn't make it be the last bit, like that's the way we should go down or up. That's the way that we should go up. In feeling like, you know what, we ain't going out like this. Like I'm not going out like this. And again, worst case scenario, what do you want to leave behind? What's the legacy? This also came through in another reading. This energy is so universal. It's like, you know, what comes through now is so consistent in regards to the passion, the projects of fulfilling our purpose. That's the day-to-day. That's what is our day-to-day is supposed to be like. And I think that there's such an imbalance happening in our world right now, and there's such a greed of the dark taking over the light, because we need both. Yin yang, but 50-50, yo. And the dark's been taking too much of their share. And I think it's because not enough of us are focusing on our 50% of light. That we too are getting very enveloped by doing what we don't want to do, being where we don't want to be, being obligated to something or someone that we don't want to be obligated to. And as a result, it darkens our energy, it darkens our spirit, it darkens and eliminates our purpose, essentially. Because to think about how we could be using that time, you know, it's something to think about. Definitely something to think about, especially during these times, these dark times, you know what I mean? Like, bring in some light. We need to bring in more light. And we do have the power to expect powerful change for ourselves first. We got to start with ourselves. We have to start where we are. You know, there's a micro level and there's a macro level to this. And we really do have to say, okay, listen, I want to change the world. I wish it wasn't like this, but don't start there if you haven't started with yourself. Like, you need to start with yourself. What is it in you that you feel like, I don't want to do it like this anymore? I don't want to wake up in the morning and do that routine anymore. Whatever it is that you can make that list of what your day looks like, that you feel like, yo, I wish I could just take this off the list. you need to think about how you can take that off the list, or just take it off the list. And not just take it off the list, but replace it with what it is that you want to do instead. That is about purpose, that is about passion, that is about creativity, that is about being true to yourself, living that dream, higher learning, learning from your challenges, standing in your power, being true to yourself, making healthy choices, having open communication, honoring your beauty. All of these things is what's going to lead to the change. It's going to lead to you believing in the impossible, and then bringing the blessings and the abundance into your orbit. And then that's what you leave behind. That's the legacy. And that's also the learning that you're teaching the future generation. You're telling them, don't go with status quo. No, that's like, I flipped the script. And as a result of me flipping the script before I was able to teach you, you didn't even know that script. I'm just teaching you that standing in your power and that living true and being true to yourself. That is the only script that next generation is going to know if we change it up now, if we flip the script now. And that is a huge responsibility, but think about how we can change as soon as the next generation, as soon as the kids that we're raising right now, for them to see us saying, you know what, this is what I believe in, so I'm going to do this every day. That's what God wants me to do, is to be true to myself, because being true to myself is aligning with spirit, is aligning with my soul, is aligning with source. And that is the only obligation that we have in this life, is to ourselves, to our souls, to source. So think about that, and that the angels and the ancestors are, again, so backing us, so rooting for us, to come out of the dark and bring light to all of this situation, and that it does start with ourselves and with our everyday. So yeah, I'm feeling like very woozy right now, but it's good. It's good. This is great. Thank you guys so much. I wish you everything. Stay in alignment, find the alignment. And it's so much easier to do that when you're doing what you want to do, what you love to do, what makes you feel good and free and happy and joyful. And we all know what those things are. We just don't think that we can prioritize them. It's time to prioritize them. It really, really is. And, we have such little to lose in regards to like leaving the status quo, because we see what that looks like. We even see what people are being forced to do to keep status quo. Like, it's crazy. Like, if anything, it's a huge test to us first to be like, oh, so you're saying I have to do this in order to do what I don't want to do anymore anyway? Huh. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's a sign. That in itself could be a sign to be like, okay, well, let me find what I want to do instead, since you're telling me that I would be forced to do something that I'm not really sure about, or that I know I don't want to do in order to do what I don't want to do. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely crazy. No offense, for the people that are making these choices, but at the end of the day, like, we do have to think about what we're choosing. And if we are going against something that is true to ourselves, from my understanding, from my perspective, and how I'm going through this journey, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I've done it. I can't do it anymore. And I'm also aligning so much more with spirit and in these channeling modes to understand just how much they don't want us to do that anymore, and just how imperative it is that, especially during this time with this very, very powerful change, this incredible transition that is happening in this life, this kind of pick a side energy right now, how important it is for us to pick the right side, and ironically, the side is self and soul and source. And to me, that's a no-brainer. I'm on my team. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose that team. So choose you, choose your soul, choose source, choose nature, and everything is going to line up for you. All of the fears, again, nothing will come of this situation. All the stuff that we're worried about, and our job and our money and our this and our that, and what I can't, all that, just let it go. Let that go. Believe in the impossible. That is what we're supposed to be doing right now. And if the dream that you have, if the purpose that you have, if the potential that you're thinking of feels impossible, that's what you're supposed to believe in. When we think about miracles, miracles can only happen when it seems impossible. When we're down to the wire, last drop, back up against the wall. That's what makes something a miracle. So believe in miracles and watch them manifest. Much love. I'm here. Hit me up, whatever you might need. And yeah, deck a day every morning, so you can get a little quick message for the day and how to proceed. And a lot of this energy has been coming through thus far as well. Again, it's very, very consistent. You know, the moons have been very, very consistent. The angels, the ancestors have been very, very consistent in what they want us to do and how they want us to proceed. And if we are watching, that means you are in alignment with this energy. So it is kind of an energy, not kind of, it is an energy of follow instructions. I remember being woken up at 3:33 in the morning, one morning, a couple months ago, and just heard follow instructions. And since then, I do not second guess the images, the dreams, the intuition, the voices, all of that crazy stuff. I don't question it anymore. I follow the instructions. So they've been very, very clear in regards to their instructions, you know, and many of us are being called and we're being chosen for a reason. And we have to trust that process. We have to just throw caution to the wind and pick that side. And that side is the side of our soul, the side of our purpose, the side of our passion. I don't see how we can go wrong with choosing that. So I'm going to stop talking now for real. And sending you much love. And I'll see you on the mornings for a deck a day. Lest we forget that it is time to get back to natural. Peace.